Hello, hello, I'm the official name reader. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at Sableye, and I think it's kind of funny that, now that Halloween's over is when we're getting all the Pokemon that would probably fit Halloween. So most of what he said in this whole thing, I just don't find that interesting, because he, talks about Black Irish for, 5 minutes. And then he's like, by the way, other things. And, I think Darth Troll and Dark Troll is stupid. But Family Jewels I'm okay with. This is a Jewel-based Pokemon, and I guess Carpink and Deontay could also be. So, if you wanted to use that as a joke name, that's totally fine. Alright, so I'm going to acknowledge just gemstones as a concept, because I know we talked about it for the evolutions, and we'll get back to them when we eventually get to Glaceon and Leafeon. So, I'm not opposed to the idea of them as nicknames, and if you wanted to use it as a nickname idea, I guess for Sableye, since he's so jewel heavy, it's fine, that's okay. It doesn't interest me in this context. It appeals to me with the evolutions because that's a theme across all of them, and that's what makes that one so much cooler, opposed to this just being by itself. And then the one I just want to tear this one up because it pisses me off. This is for males only. Fuck off. If you have a female Sableye and you want to name it Skull Kid, name it goddamn Skull Kid. Who gives a fuck? The word Skull Kid does not imply any sort of gender. There's no reason you can't use it for a female. And then Grimace, I'm going to acknowledge this one just because it's not that common of a word, so it kind of stands out a bit, but that's okay. Yeah, look, that's what I thought. That too. Though I'm not sure your description matches your intent. Okay, so I don't know what a Heartless is. Google Image doesn't know what a Heartless is either. But the idea of Heartless as a nickname is fine as well. And you could probably apply that to a few darker ghosts if you wanted to. It honestly kind of just brings back memories of a guy I used to watch on YouTube who went by the name The Heartless. And he said his inspiration for his name was because of a song by H.I.M. So, that's totally fine. And then I'll acknowledge this one because I saw it on the spreadsheet. I understand why you would draw the parallels. It makes sense to me. I wouldn't use it. I don't really care for Lilo and Stitch. Never really watched it or anything like that, but I understand it. I get it. I don't think there's too many other Midnas out in the world, so I'm assuming it's Twilight Princess Midna. If you wanted to, there's another option. Do I think it fits? But what I actually really like is someone points out that it looks like he's holding a rupee from Zelda, so I think that's kind of a funny thing I never thought about before. Alright, here we go again. So, Gemaniac and Gemster are just outright stupid. Gemini is kind of clever. I like the idea of a play on words with both gem and the astrological sign, but I don't know. I feel like I'd rather save Gemini for something that I feel would better represent it, but I will acknowledge it for at least being pretty clever. Stalker and Creepster are fucking garbage. Julius. Have you gotten your Psy out of the way yet? Cool. And then Sir Ruby and Emerald, don't care for any of those at all. Okay, so let's acknowledge a few things. Kyber, which is crystals that power the lightsabers. I didn't know that. I'm not super smart when it comes to Star Wars, but I think that would probably stand out on its own and is kind of cool. So if you're a Star Wars nerd, that would appeal to you. Midnight, I mean, we've seen Midnight plenty of times before, mostly for Umbreon or anything even resembling the color black. Hopkins, which, naming your Meowth cat. And then Jupiter just intrigues me because it says it rains diamonds on the planet. I'm like, is that real? It's been a long time since I was in school. The main thing I remember about Jupiter was, it's big, and it's, constantly going on with hurricanes and thunderstorms. Is that what Heartless is supposed to be based from? Because I wouldn't have guessed. But if it's supposed to be Kingdom Hearts, then cool. And I guess if you wanted rupees, an okay idea as well. I guess if you wanted to do Golem, that's an idea because my precious, precious stones. Sure. Alright, I've reached the bottom. I think we found a decent selection, actually. I tried putting one of my suggestions on here, and it straight up told me, no, you're not allowed to use that. So I'm not sure what it is or why, but apparently it has banned words or something. The one I tried submitting was Freak Show, which I'm pretty sure we've seen in the past, and I was like, oh, that'd be a good idea for like a generic dark type or ghost type you could apply to anyone. But I think in the case of Sableye, it kind of fits him pretty well. Like, it would stand out and resemble his appearance. But other words, the ones that I liked and wanted to highlight was mostly Heartless and Family Jewels, and Grimace, despite being the opposite of what he was thinking of, he was like, oh, what if I picked something intimidating sounding? I'm like the purple bastard from McDonald's? Like, I thought it was a funny character, but yeah. But the one I personally use is Disturbed, based off the band, and also it's just a good sounding word that also kind of reflects Sableye's demeanor and appearance. What I really like is, you know, back when Pokemon games used to have good animations, Sableye looked and acted creepy in his animations. Like, he'd sway himself around, and when you hit him, he'd do this weird little smile and stuff. So that kind of came to mind, and I was like, if I had to pick one to name after Disturbed, Sableye was my first pick. So that's what I personally go with. I think it fits well. I think we found a decent amount of suggestions, and that's pretty good. So whatever you use for Sableye or would recommend for Sableye, put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. And also, poor Sableye, because he went from being, you know, pumped up and better thanks to Mega Evolutions to being sent to hell because Game Freak hates us all.